Can you hear me all right? Quick sound check. All right, cool. They're just doing presentations. It's me. I'm accompanied by this person and that person, and today we will be talking to you about the modifications of 3.1, especially the upcoming one, 3.1, and also talk about a year in action, all of 2025. And for those of you who are used to hear about the beta is not very far off anyway, so it's the occasion to go back on it and talk to you about it. Alright. We don't... French jokes. Right, summary. What are we talking about today? So, anti-botting, very important topic, is going to follow us for a really long time because it's one of the promises that we've made you about Unity. It's to be hyperactive about anti-botting in the game. So it's going to be part of all the topics that we will talk about during this stream. At the level of the enhancements and betterments, bug-wise, 3.1, you need to know. The passage or the moving upgrade to Unity 6 was purely technical in terms of decision, but we have done it. It's the newest topic. It's the newest engine 6, Unity 6, and we're following the advances from that side. Do you have any details for us, Rebek, to share? No, not really, not much. Nothing really concrete or visible for the players. It allowed us to have multiple options in the interfaces and stuff. Some technical modifications that were done that brought some negative things, if I can say, and we will correct them, but also some enhancements, and it allowed us to have a project that will hold the road for the long term with regular updates and stuff like that. And the idea is we don't want to do another big migration in 10 years. And the other big point here, for those of you who know the Unity stuff, there was one or two messages. This upgrade is not nothing. There's a lot of performance enhancement that we got through this upgrade, and we wanted to be on the latest update. There's a lot of logics that were changed with Unity 6, namely map changes and other things. So we're supervising things, especially during the next beta that is coming. One of the other points that we wanted to go back is the update size. So the repairs, the frequent repairs that you guys are having that are not great. So these are technical changes. The comparison between different versions we're working on to see what should we update on various computers from various players. As some of you have seen, we have some really different updates, and in big part are due to your map settings, 4K, HD or SD. So maps are things that take the most in every update. That's why some of you have bigger updates than others. So we've brought some enhancements here to reduce them to a great minimum on the launcher, so they're less consequent and allows us to have more stable updates. So as you know, it happens sometimes that during the update you have that famous repair button that you dread. So we've reworked with the launcher team to bring a better stability during every update, directly to the launcher. So globally we will try to do to work on them so that they are less frequent and less voluminous, and so that every time we have a change or update you don't have to repair the entire thing. Because for some of you it has been a weekly occurrence. Every time you log in you have to repair, and it is so we brought so many changes, and we will observe how these things changes during the beta, and the objective is that this doesn't happen anymore. And the last point is one of the biggest points of the update, and one of the largest ones that we will go back on details. It's the optimization of interfaces. So there's a whole host of interfaces that we came back on with this update, because it was making you lose massively in terms of performance, memory leak. The way that we've developed them was not optimal with others. For example, the chat, we came back on this, we've reworked it. Bestiary, the jobs, professions one. So there's a lot that we've reworked from the start, so that the logic, the way it's written, and the performance, the way it meshes with other interfaces, your memory and everything, is a lot more fluid and good. And so we wanted it so that you never are in the position where the moment you click on the market, you just gain 400 megabytes of RAM, which is terrible, terrible, terrible. So chat, for example, is one of the things that we've reworked massively. We've showed you this in a previous dev blog. You'll be able to test this in the upcoming beta. We hope that it is up to your expectations. We will work so that it is up to your expectations, but we want it to be more readable. We've augmented the history, so the number of messages that you could see. We've reviewed the coloring of things to enhance the readability of it. And also, your feedback during the beta will be incredibly important to see if we've done a good job or if we need to go back. Indeed, we have redone the chat from 3.0. There's a lot of things that we've added, like pictos, colors and things like that, which made it heavier. And so the solution we had during the porting, because it was so heavy, we've added so many elements, we couldn't just have it you couldn't have a large chat during 3.0. So chat could not keep up, and the scroll bar could not keep up. So we had to redo largely we had to redo the entire thing. So yep, it is one of the biggest parts where we lost performance. It was about 150 megabytes just on its own, chat. So yeah, I think we feel internally that this was a great focus, a good thing to rework and start to bring it in good conditions. So achievement tabs, same thing. I can't remember if we've showed this during the dev blog. No, this is just a performance enhancement. In what we've done is we've changed the interfaces to gain back some performance on some interfaces. What we will see here, without getting too much into the detail, is the scrolling lists. If we had too many, and if you clicked it and it expanded, that added a lot of memory to your session. So we had a lot of scrolling to do, a lot of undercategories, subcategories, and it wasn't optimized, the whole thing. And achievement as well themselves. So we've opted to change the interfaces completely. So now if you click an achievement, it gives you everything that is within it in a better way. And I'm seeing in chat, this is just internally. So people are asking in chat about what the hell is BU 217 and things like that. He's just explaining that that's how they ID things, so they can retrieve it. It won't be visible for us. It will just be the normal way we know it. But here, because this is a developer look, this is how it looks like. This is admin debug mode. Don't worry about the numbers. So yeah, achievements. You will be able to read everything without having to scroll in all directions. It will be a good thing for you to see. The bestiary was one of the biggest workshops, one of the biggest, hardest ones to achieve. So we've gone back on it as well, so you can see the drops directly, just like we've done with the achievements. On all the information you need to see will be visible from the start, and you can see it all laid out. So the bestiary is a heck of a big interface, and we've done a big optimization work on it. And we want to insist on this. Your feedback on the beta will be humongous. It will be interesting for us so that we can give you the best looking. Just tell us, does it live up to your expectations? Are there still some bits that need to be reworked? Are there still some things that need to be changed? Anything to add? And as you know, the beta and the next update are such times where we can change and add things. And the resistances, oh yeah, we could possibly add the resistances. This is something we've been thinking just internally. Or maybe add the territory where they live by default. Yeah, so your feedback will be important. Anyway, professions. Here again, we fused we fused many things. So what we had at the update 3.0 was not great to use on a day-to-day, right? So what we've done in essence is some of your recommendations on the forum, a lot of your rants, we've fused both screens into one again, so that it is easier for you to handle instead of managing two that can be moved in different directions. In any case, we will continue to be hyper vigilant on your feedback, what we should change, what we should add. We think like it's a lot more usable now. When it comes to the forum, there will be a section for the beta, so that we'll have different subjects like interfaces and things like that, where we will keep an eye on your feedback. We might, so he's thinking in French. He's thinking in French. Ah, yeah, okay. So he's saying we will have in the forum, we will centralize the feedback about all interfaces in one place, so that we can see it. Right. Anyway, options. It's another interface that we've changed. We did not like the way that it saved. So when you finish setting up stuff and then you're done and then you relog, it's not saved. But also in terms of performance, it was incredibly costly. So the moment you change settings, open this interface, change settings, and then closed it, your RAM would skyrocket. So it wasn't optimal. So it's one of the interfaces that we've worked properly, so that the save part is saved. And so yeah, so we've changed the format of the file, the save file. So it will be a JSON file. It will be easier to see for you what variables are saved in which options. And it's a format that will allow you to have better stability over time vis-a-vis these options. So how it's going to work is during the update on the 15th of April, everything will be completely transparent for you, because we will have migrated all your previous settings, formats and everything into that file to ensure that you can see them in that file. And during the next 2 weeks, I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday, we're still hazy on the date, we will do a migration test so that all the presets you have in the beta will go on the new option settings, you know, the final version when it's released. And the interface that we've showed you for the spells, these here, we will have mainly performance enhancements that we've brought. So sometimes some things will not show. We didn't want to detail all the interfaces or get too much into the detail of each one. There's a big number of debugs that are arriving for this particular update. In fight, outside of the fight, many interfaces. So there's a lot of modifications, UI, UX, the functioning of every button and things like that. So there's a lot that will change, but we've done a little tour of the house, what will generally change and things like that. But in the dev blog, if you want a lot more detail, keep an eye on it. We will give you a lot more details in there for you to read and get into the nitty-gritty detail. Anyway, next thing. When we talk about enhancements in the game, we talk about enhancements of the comfort of playing. So what we've done, first thing, is we've added 1 second for every 20 levels in terms of time of play, your turn, how long your turn lasts. That means you get 10 extra seconds at level 200. By level 200. We will see if it's enough or not. We will review the formula if need be. But yeah, some classes, some fights in particular, PvP, the Zellors and IOPs require a lot more time. Without stigmatizing you, these classes. The IOP in particular, who is the ass of the game in terms of calculating how many AP in time they've got. But yeah, with this update, we will keep an eye on the update. So in terms of In terms of time, the game and how it has evolved, we have seen that the game has gone a lot more complex. Some classes have effects that are triggered, some effects that are built up, and being able to anticipate all the effects that you've applied and still manage your turn in time was a bit difficult. So that's one of the reasons why I've added. During the last live, one of the things that you guys have flagged as being the most important, which is the signaling. We've added the notifications so that players... so when you signal somebody has done something naughty, a bot, a person, before we give them a ban, now you will receive a notification when your signaling has engendered or resulted in a ban or something. You get a notification now. It was very important for us to change it because your feedback pointed in that direction. Yes, certainly something that you have seen in different games, but it was one point that was really important for us to act on, because it's the frustration that you guys have been having of having the impression that your signaling has just been in vain. So I think this is a little thing that we've changed. It will fluidify. I hope it will give you another confidence boost in the system and allow you to, or rather make you more comfortable signaling if you see something that is not good. In terms of, so in our calculation, this little modification might insist on the efficacy of your signaling and give you a boost, just let you keep doing it. Anyway, and the last thing, the respawn time. We've changed, there's a lot of modifications that we've brought to respawn times that are really important. The first one is boss respawn. So now, the moment somebody clicks a boss, and the moment there's no boss in the map, it's an instant repop. So you don't have to wait for the other team to start their fight and prepare and stuff like that. So the moment a boss is clicked, another one respawns immediately. So this is huge if you guys remember in the beginning of servers and all the crowdedness that was happening. Good solution to that. The other thing is things that we've gotten from Dofus, the automatic regeneration of groups that were abandoned for an hour. This is not gonna change. Here, we've made a change that we find interesting. Oh, I see. This is oh my god, this is crazy. So sometimes you have 3 groups in a map, and one is interesting, or 2 are interesting, and one is just disgusting and nobody wants to click it. So if a mob is idle for over 1 hour, it automatically resets and there's a fresh one that appears. So there's never gonna be any stagnation. So it will allow you to go back on these zones and find more interesting mobs instead of just chalking them out mentally. Done. And we've agreed an hour. Will that be the right value? Will that be the exact best number to put on the system? We don't know. We will keep an eye on it. We will keep an eye on your feedback. It's easy for us to change it from this point, reduce it to 30 minutes, increase it to 5 hours. Easy for us. And so the variation, the last point, the variation of the respawn depending on the affluence of people in the zone. You have to know that right now as it stands, it is a bit backwards in terms of way of doing. So we manually go into zones, we accelerate the respawn time, we make them appear. It is hell, it's an old way of doing things, it is outdated. And yeah, some areas that are heavily farmed in, like at 4 AM. At 4 AM in Gobble Dungeon, a mob does not appear. We have to go there and make it happen manually. It was getting a bit too much. So these are things that we're keeping an eye on. It was tiresome, highly demanding, and sometimes if we have heavy weeks, we just tend to not pay attention to some of the problems. So the respawn times will be accelerated depending on the affluence, the number of people in the zone. So if there's a lot of people in an area, if there's hundreds of people in the same sub area, it will accelerate, it will be modular. So the system immediately start, Oh, there's a nuance to be drawn here. So if there's thousands of people in a sub area but nobody's starting fights, nothing changes to the respawn rate. But if people are hitting mobs, then they appear much faster. This is gonna be crazy for us because we're anticipating Temporis that is coming later this summer, and we feel like this is a good change when we have a big influx of player. And she's saying this is going to also be useful for anomaly hunting when there's an anomaly somewhere and everybody's rushing and stuff like that. And I don't know when exactly Artagun. Well, they're talking about the next Temporis. It's a good change for it whenever it happens. And yeah, her point is that sometimes when there's anomaly bashing events, mobs are really rare. This will remedy it. Anyway, next. This is global amelioration of the game. We've added 3 new apps. Nimaltopia, the Grobe Island, and the Koalak cemetery area. Grobe, what is Grobe? Oh yes, the Frygost frozen one, the belly of the whale, I think. Is that the whale mobs? Yeah. So you won't have many maps to travel. And there's some areas that we've completely opened. There's no difficulty in navigating them, like the Doppels, Koalak. And you get, oh my god, the GPS is back in all the forbidden areas, like the Wabbit and Koalak areas. What? That is really cool. Yeah, so they're describing the difficulty of moving around, having to find a boat, not being able to just TP there. And yeah. And yeah, for Koalak, for example, having to do the entire circuit to just be able to go to a dungeon was just, it was caricature, like a caricature. It needed to stop. But yeah, GPS in this area is just going to be crazy. Yeah, so pretty much most zones that you couldn't use the GPS on, it will be coming back. And whoever says GPS says you can use your Haven bag, so that also is a change that has arrived. One more point about the Koalak Cemeteries app. It is not one of the most frequented areas in the game, so what we've done is openings on the side. So by going to the cemetery, there's a direct opening on the left to go to Worker, to go to, you know, so it might find use, the zap of that area, because it allows you to go to the Worker and other nearby area. As we've said, there are areas of the game where historically we've never had clean maps. So the fungus area, for example, it never had a map. So now we're working on this one, for example. They'll take some time to put in place. But new world maps are arriving over the next few weeks, like Frygost, some sub-Frygost areas, the fungus, Sophokia, yeah. And also to reflect the changes of the maps that we've added. For example, in Sophokia, for example, a part of its aspect, which is the labyrinth aspect that it has now, and it has no real reason to be, really. So we're reworking it for it to be more simple to navigate, and maybe even add little zappy system like the ones you know in Frygost, Bonta and stuff like that. Oh, and access to, in Sophokia in particular, access to, what are they called, markets. There's a strong Sophokia lobby in the team that is gunning for all these changes and making them happen. But yeah, markets will be fluidified in terms of access, not hard as they are now and super spread out. The workshops as well. There's the cosmetic workshop as well that will be added to Sophokia, so that you have Panala, Frygost, Panala, Frygost, and Sophokia to become as attractive as Bonta and Brack. She's talking about there are restrictions in some map, like the treasure hunt maps, the place where you go to treasure hunts, the almanacs where you couldn't use your Haven bag. We've removed those restrictions as well. What? What? Now, for treasure hunts, no, for bounties and arc monsters, you can have NPCs that you can ask if they're available or not before you go hunting for them. So you just ask one of them, is this guy that I'm looking for present? And they'll be like, yeah, it is. And then you go and look for them. And if they tell you no, then you don't waste your time, you know? You just, there's no point in going all the way to the area, running about and not finding them. Maybe you just put your alarm on and wait 15 minutes, 30 minutes and ask before you go. There's another thing to add. Go on, Rebek. So, Rebek is saying, knowing very well that this is an NPC per type. If you're looking for a Frygost 1 bounty, you have to go to Frygost 1 and ask the NPC of the area. And you have to have not done it. If you have done, we don't want everybody to have access to this unless you have it active, you're looking for it, you have the quest for it open, because we don't want people camping there to get the information and pass it on to an alt that is in the area or something. Yeah. And that is why we have NPCs that have been spread all around. Oh, this is just for... oh, wait, this is just for treasure hunt, for bounties. This is just for bounties. No, just for bounties. And the standardization of time of bounties. Oh, it has been retweaked to 2 hours for the bounties and 3 hours for... Oh, so it's 2 hours for arc monsters and 3 hours for bounties. Knowing very well that they had variable times between them. You have to know, globally, the arc monsters had 12 hours respawn time. And now it's down to 2 hours. And when we say 2 hours, it's not exactly 2 hours. So if you kill it, it's not going to be at the 2 hour exact. There's a little delta between 15 and 20 minutes so that you don't get to monopolize the arc monster for yourself because you know the time. So there's a little bit of randomness scattered around that 2 hours that varies between... Oh, right. So beforehand, you had 12 hours respawn time with a 2 hour randomness factor. Now it's 2 hours with 15 to 20 minutes randomness factor either side. And now the interface changes, as you can see. So when you speak to the NPC we've just mentioned now, he will tell you whether it is worth it or not to go. And you can see the new interface in passing. And if they say it is, you can just go around looking for it and you're very likely to find it. Oh, so it's... Oh, also, by the way, it's the NPC to whom you do give the bounty once you caught it is the one that will give you the information. Yeah. Now, there was talk of instancing all of these so that you can get them done, but no, we've said no. Yeah, well, she's answering a question in chat. So if there's a lot of you that see the information and see that yes, it is there, you still have to be in the fight and to get it, you know? It's not instanced for you. Alright. I'm just going to segue into a parallel topic. You must have seen it during the devlog. There's a new interface that you are seeing right here that will be implemented in the game. So the dialogues also have been reworked. And we want your feedback on the various dialogues. Yeah, it's a map. In terms of integration, this has been a great bit of work. It was fun. Anyway, speaking of interfaces, very rapidly, we are reworking various themes to better them so that they gain in terms of character. So you can see so far we had on color and contrast, and now we would love to be able to add ornaments at the top of every interface, maybe 2, possibly 3 new themes, because the Wabbit was proposed internally from one of the teams without knowing. You know, it was fun. Yeah. Well, do we add it? Do we not add it? That's where we are at now. We will see. We will see. Maybe we'll add it. We don't know. We don't know yet. But yeah, the idea is that we're trying to better what we already have and continue to add little enhancements that will make it more beautiful and usable, so that we, in the option, in the theme selection, you'll have a lot more to pick instead of just you know, the wheel that you have now in the theme selection. We're trying to rework this so that you get a lot more information per theme, so you can make a better selection. He's asking chat something. Ah, somebody's disrupting them physically as they're talking, and then there's somebody in IT that is barging into the room or something. And he's telling them off. You've interrupted my flow, the Pope said. So yeah, we're in the process of reworking these interfaces to add a lot more customization of these interfaces, so that you can have a unique client. Every one of you can have their own style added to it. So yeah, maybe we will add this to the Wabbit theme. Maybe we will add it by the release time, and yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on your feedback. Balancing and debug. The top 7 debugs. Right. In this slide, there's a lot of information, so let's get to it. Every line can be unpacked into a lot. So the recipe and pebbles, we could talk to you about it for hours, but we'll give Nelly some minutes. As you know, there was an event that was done some time ago to generate pebbles and help, especially on the new servers where they were hard to obtain. And speaking of this, right now on Pioneer servers, there's a bonus of Colo token generation that is still ongoing for these servers, so that you can generate them more easily. And as I said, the event was a few weeks ago. It was a sort of interim solution that we wanted to replicate later, but it needed a lot more changes, and we've brought these changes. So, whoa, they've reviewed the entirety of the recipes of the game, and we wanted to see the repetition of resources that you couldn't get in drops. So pebbles, volcorn, rhinital horns, the dimensional fabric, and we wanted to have a homogeneous spread of these things across leveling. So in a set, in any given set, if you have 3 items, there will only be 1 item that needs a sparkling pebble. One type, one type of pebble, not one pebble, one type of pebble. And another item will require rhinital horns, and the other item will need dimensional thing. And we've done this for all the sets in the game, so that we can have a good spread of these rare items. So if we ask for a PvP resource, for example, we'll only ask for 1 type in 1 item, and that's it. And the other item will request something different. This is for non-droppable resources. And we've also readjusted the resources that are droppable in recipes. So some recipes would require not enough depending on the levels tranche, and some require too much, so we reviewed the numbers of them, and we've changed the recipes, the resources that were requested in recipes that did not make sense. For example, a level 100 item that required a level 140 resource, so it didn't make sense because you couldn't just go and get the kill, drop the item, and then go and make your set. There's a lot of recipes that will be affected, and so you'll have a lot of reading if you're interested in all the changes. And yeah, the idea is to reduce the pressure on some resources that were incredibly demanded, and ease the pressure on some that were highly demanded, and push some that were ignored. So Uga eyes, for example, were asked in so many recipes, so I've tried to reduce that. So boss resources, we've reduced the pressure on them by equalizing them across all things. So we could talk to you about this for hours, but anyway, you'll get to read all the recipes in the dev blog. Oh, I have a little number for you guys. So before and after, the Sparkling Pebble was in 283 recipes and now it's 140 recipes. The yellow one, it was in 200 and something, now it's 130. So it's this kind of yeah, it's this kind of changes that will impact the game greatly. And somewhere in 60, we've upped them to 130 as well. And this is just recipes, we could talk about it for an hour. Anyway, the stones that you capture in to capture a boss level 50, it was the same recipe, pretty much the same recipe as a level 200 boss, which made it a problem because the resources that were requested became just expensive for everyone because the pressure was so big from the end game players that you said, yeah, the artifacts is the one that she's talking about in the stones, soul stones. So they've changed them. Pope. The Pope is saying to people who are hogging those resources just to increase their prices artificially. Yeah, or so generate them just and hog them. Just so yeah, we've rug pulled you. So now you will change. You'll drop a new resource that is called the soul shard or something, and you will use these to make low level things, low level stuff. So the drop rate for these things changes depending on the mob level, 1 to 4%, depending on each tranche. So every tranche level is 1% chance to drop, and the highest one is 4%, and it's spread across all monsters in the game. Quest monsters, bosses, dungeons. And another important modification is the Bondawushu artifact that were in the level 50 family that you would use to make the first ones. Oh. They've put the artifacts in items and removed them from recipes for items. And it just makes sense that they should be in Pandala items as well, so... So, pet families, pet XP formula has been reworked. We're not gonna get into the details. You can do your tests and arrive at the numbers, or wait for the dev blog and get the actual numbers. But in essence, yes. Yes. So, you could feed your pets Majin runes that would give tremendous amount of XP. So we've nerfed all of this stuff. Now you'll get a lot less. Oh, so an AP rune will give the equivalent of a croquette, so 500 XP. Oh, she said something about nuggets. Maybe they become interesting now to feed them. So the rune system is already a recycling system. So we don't want you using them in pets. And double recycle. It doesn't, yeah. Yeah, we don't want you doing that anymore. Hold on one sec. We've also added some modifications on multiple monsters like Berry Bell, the snails that would pose problem. So we've changed some of them that were highly problematic. Yeah, so we've re-leveled some free ghost. So we've done a big pass of homogenizing some mobs that were overpowered compared to their level, and the level you fought them at did not match their difficulty, the XP you got from them, the rewards you got from them. So we've done a big pass to rebalance some edgy monsters, so there's a level of coherence at the level of the gameplay, the lore and everything. Yep, and another thing that was changed that is no less important is the speed of the time of companions, so sidekicks. So it was a bit annoying, not gonna lie. with between the animation, the slow animations, the slow cast of their spells. So now you'll be able, we've reduced their all of their animations, all the ectop, all of them will be impacted by this change, so that they play faster, they chain their spells faster, just like a normal character, and so they're more usable now. We weren't able to list all the debugs during this update because there's so many. We've picked the 7 biggest ones. So the spell recast time in Colosseum, that would create a desync between what you saw in the game, whether you could place it or not. Can I cast this spell or not? So we've done an incredible repass on it, so to uniformize, to homogenize the work, the time between the server, the spell bar, and you clicking stuff. Info bubble in fight that would disappear is the second top debug. We've made massive changes, technical ones, about the third one is the weapon damage. I'm not gonna get into the details, but it will be in the changelog. That's why I'm saying I don't want to get into the detail. But there were some technical changes done to balance them or rebalance them to make them more useful and usable. Its fourth one is special achievements that were still completely bugged, that would not go away. We've corrected them now. Fifth, some classes and animations. We've identified ones that would take 3 45. Yeah, some animations were annoying in some particular classes that made a long fight really, really dreadful and hard. Auto follow, auto focus, there were some bugs involved, so some characters would just stop auto following and you'd have to go and fetch them back. Auto focus as well, and the GPS thing. That's the 7th. The GPS is the 7th one. Some changes to it. So the exhaustive list will be made available at the end with the devlog. She wants to put the emphasis on the way you mage weapons. That will change. The potions will become 100%. The ones that let you change the element, they will become 100% without destroying any of your stats. Very important point, because he has seen it spammed multiple times in the chat. So yes, these are not the only classes that have been rebalanced. I've put the 4 principal ones because these are the 4 that have the most media attention. So at the level of the nerf, the 3 biggest nerfs will be on the Sadi, Eka, and the Fognot. And for the balancing bit, we put a big brackets between balancing on the LU. It is very likely to be an up, because we'll get back to you in great detail. In essence, the Forge is also on the nerf category, don't you worry, they're insisting on that. I wanted to insist there's some changes that are rather global that will have repercussions on most classes. For example, we will have a nerf on whoa! Damage without line of sight through walls and things like that will be reduced. So Kra, Forge, and all the classes that are able to do that. And also the accumulation of shields and the heals, the excessive nature of it. So the Eka Flip will be impacted, the Forge Lance, and the Enutrof as well. At the damage level, all classes will be impacted. Well, not all of them, but most of them will be either have slight nerfs in damages or ups in damages. When it comes to the Sadi, there will be a nerf on its dolls and at the infection spell. We reduced it, but don't worry, it will still be playable. The classes will remain strong. Next to it is the Eka Flip, which will have changes to its Tarot, its ability to heal, and burst damage is going to be reduced. The Fogonaut will see its turrets modified heavily. That's the level where we focus. We will also have a better survivability on rogues. For the Forge Lance, it's AoE damage that will be impacted. Anyway, you will see, and we will be able to test all of this in the beta. We will be highly sensitive to your feedback there. Heliotrope took a massive nerf earlier, where it reduces its ability to damage, the entire team's ability to damage through its portals. So here we're trying to see a way to augment the damage of the Heliotrope through the portals, but only the Heliotrope, not anybody else. But it wasn't possible. We couldn't just put it on the Heliotrope, but now we found a technological formula that allows us to just do that. So a lot of its spells will be able to send a lot more damage through portals. So it won't deal more damage, but there will be a change on the utility spells first of all, and the gameplay. If you play around portals, you're more rewarded with heals and damages and things like that. And also you gain a passive in the Heliotrope. So the moment you put... wow, it boosts your overall ability to deal damages and heals. The more you use portals, you get more final damage. The more you play around your portals and Heliotrope. When you were talking about better flexibility on the utility spells, for example. Only for Helio, yeah. Oh, you can place 4 portals in a turn now. What? 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 There's a lot of changes now. Yeah, so the Helio players will have a lot of learning and relearning to do. Yeah. Without its context, when we say 4 portals in one turn, it is sending all the wrong signals and surprising. But don't you worry, it will all make sense during the beta when you get to test that and try it. There will also be objects, item balancing, a lot of them. So class items have seen a particular big change. It won't be available tomorrow, but it's something that is, the finalization of its work is being done right now, so it will be available in the beta. So 2 volcanic and cycloid sets have also been nerfed. There has been some set bonuses that have been added, that have been upped, and some new set bonuses have been added. Some items were fused together so that they have set bonuses now. So I can't wait to say, don't before you go around selling your cycloid sets, don't go. If you've already put them in the market, just get them back, because they're changing in a different way. It's not necessarily a massive nerf, but yeah, you'll see in the beta what the changes look like. So dates, let's talk about dates. So today we're on the ANKAMALIVE. So the publication, okay, so today you can expect a dev blog about the modifications brought to and the future enhancements on the interfaces. Tomorrow, beta, 11 AM, as we've said during the live. So globally, tomorrow we're aiming, we want to open it halfway through the morning, around 11 AM. So it's there early enough for you to test it. We're trying to aim for 11 AM anyway. We will see what the problems that we face tomorrow are like. Yeah. And at the end, the update will be the 15th of April, 3.1. Yes, and that will be the new Colo season. So whoever called it, you're right, it was the 15th. Anti-botting. Ooh. Let's talk about this small, insignificant bit that is bots. 3, 4. So. Okay, so. Just to give you a total view. So, we have regular bans. Our focus is the dungeons with artifacts, Colosseum, and treasure hunts. This is our focus right now. The Kama date. What? For those of you who don't know what it is, anyway, the Kama date is... It's one of the ways that we had put in place some years now. Yeah, some years now. That detects... that detects camera purchase. What? No! So some people who bought cameras would see their cameras removed. So to punish the buyer and give them a debt to replace, so they would have negative cameras. Sadly, it's one of the truths. As long as there is purchase, there is selling of cameras. And so, it's good to hit just the bots. Now we're moving on to the players who buy as well to hurt both sides. We're applying some pedagogy on this motherfucker. Let's go. Just to show you that globally, so 1 in 4 buyers are detected immediately as it stands, and it's gonna get enhanced, and you're gonna get hit pretty hard. Holy shit! So don't buy covers. And midterm. So we want to go back on the debt, the camera debt, because it's so hard to put in place, and it will be incredible in terms of impact. So it's not things that we can just do willy-nilly. But yeah. So we're discussing, keeping an eye on this, because just imagine someone having minus 100 million cameras. How long is it going to take them to pay it back? Holy shit. So yeah, the camera count in the game is not it's not a futile thing to just modify and add a new system to. We're very wary of making changes like that. We can't tell you everything right now during the stream, because we'll just open a debate that will never end. So essentially, over the next few weeks, you will have a first dev blog that will explain, detail our anti-botting measures that we will change. So again, these are things that we are working together with you, because it will have a big impact on the game, but also in order to heal the economy. That is one of the main fights that we will continue to fight, because that's our primary goal, for you to have a healthy, lovely game. And we continue to be active and proactive in this. We don't have many numbers to give you, sadly, but it's one of the topics that we will certainly go back to you on and tell you, so that you're aware of everything, all the systems we've put in place, their impact. So yeah, it's one of the biggest topics that has arrived with the Unity ported, but it's one of those things that we need to communicate on and keep a keen eye on. Last thing, timeline 2025. What to expect of this year. Let's go back on everything that we have done from the start of the year and things to look forward to. So 3.2 is the divine dimension of Osamodes. We're still on it. 3 new monster family, a new world boss, and some new technical changes. What is a world boss? It's something that we will discover later on. We will rework the Osa class entirely. There will be a new calendar system in game, and ladders are going to appear in game. You don't have to go to a website to see them, so you can consult them directly in game. 3.3 will see a big update on, it will be the September, this one is the September one, 3.3. So Infinite Dreams, Breathing, and the markets, full rework. So now internally, Infinite Dreams is the big topic. We're so wary of it. It impacts a few players that are highly active. Expect the dev blog that is currently in writing in a few weeks. Couple of weeks it will be ready. So the 8th of April, there's a dev blog about Dreams. Before it, we will have one about Breathing. And then there will be some modifications about... We haven't finalized them, but we wish to completely revamp markets, because we have a big technical problem. We've kept the same logic that we had in Flash, the same logic that we had back there. And on top of that, we'd like to really modernize, see how we can bring new systems, the offering, you know, the order book, sell, buy. We want to modernize all these things. It's the center of the game. Having markets, functional markets, the use of them is vital to the work of the game. And the last thing is 3.4. We call it Prologue. So we have new content. In terms of content, it's called Prologue. So we'll have new content that will arrive in early to 2026. So guilds are going to be completely enhanced into having a lot of new features. So we were expecting one, but we will have 3 new game edition things throughout the year. We were gunning for 1, but you'll have 3. So for guilds 2026, you'll have new raids, new missions inside, and different use to it globally. So, this is meaty. 2025, what are the foundational, fundamental topics that we're working on? So there's a lot of debugging to do. We won't cover everything by 3.1. There's a lot of passes to make, so we'll continue to do that. So debugging, interfaces, we haven't finished all of them, but we had to spread some changes over multiple changes, like multiple updates. So the characteristic tab, for example, the modules where you see the AP, MP, VIT. Next thing is communication. We want to enhance the way we communicate with you, dev blogs. We want to work with the community about better communication. And we want to make dev blogs a lot more recurrent, and we want to make that our main way of giving you the details of what has changed. It still is the best way to exchange with you and work together on these problems and get your feedback and propositions. For example, in the breeding change, you should be able to see things that we've cancelled, things that we've continued to work on. And I can't wait for you to get the first dev blog of the Infinite Dreams and get your feedback on it. So in April, you have dev blog of the Infinite Dreams, dev blog on the breeding part 2, double XP weekend to do with the Wakfu season 5. You have a new dungeon rusher, a live Ankama shop creation of the world boss. So it will allow us to transition towards the new Divan dimension and things like that. It is coming. May, you have an ANKAMALIVE about the update 3.2. Some dev blogs about things that are coming, and news on top of all of that. So there's going to be a lot of them coming. Do you guys have any questions? Topics that we've missed? The XP bonus that will be activated soon. It will be a 50% bonus. It's not going to be double XP, it's going to be 50% extra XP. The Easter Island is arriving with the update. We've worked on the Easter update as well, so it should be arriving in time with the update. Whoa, the questions are just... Yeah, try and catch a question so we can end on this bad boy. There was a question that I found interesting. It's something that Papino was talking about earlier about bots. Power leveling. Ooh. What is going on with power leveling? Is it allowed? Is it tolerated? Is it... Woohoo! It's not an evident question. It's not an easy one by any means. Oh, I'm just saying these are questions that we're asking ourselves as well. Just like botting, for example. We can just give you answers without any preparation. But we can share a part of our reflection. For example, one of the things that Block says in anti-botting, we have data, we try and ban as much as possible, but at the moment we're power leveling on the dungeons, you know, the Enorado. It's really hard to have efficacious anti-botting because the cost of re-upping a character to level 200 is virtually non-existent. It takes 2 hours to get it back. So as part of our anti-botting fight, power leveling has a role to play. Do we cancel it? No. We don't want to stop normal players that aren't here to cheat in the game. They just want to level a character to try it in Colosseum or something. But in the anti-bot fight, looking into power leveling is really, really important. What happened to the rogue under Unity and stuff. So this is one of the topics we will be working in the summer as much as possible. So here's how it goes. We've been completely transparent. We were taken between, we have a good half of the team that is working on optimization, interface rework, and also the movement, the port into Unity 6. So we had the big chunk of our team that has been doing nothing but that. And the other half was compelled to work on the Divine Dimension that is coming, the OSA one. So there's a lot of things that we've postponed, sadly. So the new summon appearance for the Rogue, the OSA, notably. So these are things that have been postponed, and we wish to go back on them. OSA Modus is absolutely going to happen this summer because they're reworking everything. But there's another part of the summons that will be reworked, so like the Rogues and the Sadis and stuff, that we want to go back on and rework this summer in particular. We might not work all of them, but we have the willingness to do so given time. What about the Ochre Dofus? Some people are complaining about the ochre. I can't get it. I can't get it. Give me one, Papino. Boop. The spawn time of the Arc Monsters has changed. Oh, there's a change. Oh, it's not coming for this update. Probably not even for the next one. So the problem with the Ochre Dofus, the quest is the problem. So the quest is difficult for us to just judge them. The quests, you can't just change them the way they are. Because let's say, for example, you delete an achievement or an objective within it, it will impact the whole tree because everything is sort of interlinked. You can't just change the quest like that superficially. You have to get into it in depth and see what it's connected to. But also, you have the divine thingies that were added, and now the Arc Monsters or the repop time is reduced. But in terms of the quest, we will try and find an alternative to the quest. That's the idea that we're working on right now. Right now, I can't tell you what it will look like, but we'll see. We will see. This is why, in the interim, while we find a solution, we've reduced the repop time to 2 hours plus the margin we've mentioned earlier. Oh, so some interfaces would not go where we want them to be. You will see in the changelog tomorrow. The emote question keeps coming back. Some people want them to all be back. The OSA... Yeah, so the fact that we're working on the OSA dimension right now means that it has slowed down a lot of these little things that you guys want to see better. We've talked about this in a previous live. Flash did not allow us to have all the emotes that we wanted. Whereas today, for performance considerations, we have to be a lot more attentive to the size of, let's call them assets, all the components of an attitude. They're all images stacked on top of each other. And we want to work with the game design team so that these births, these animations are not conducive to memory leaks or other problems, generally speaking. So we're not going to go back on it right now immediately as we speak. We will put 1 or 2 words in the next day vlog about it, but it's not the main focus. Yeah, it's months before we even tackle these things, so keep an eye on the dev blogs where we get into great detail on it. Another question in chat. If we get some information like this out of context, it's going to be really complex. Yeah, it's just like telling you about 4 portals in a turn. We saw how you guys took it. You lose your minds, doesn't make sense. It takes a while before you get the answers. So we don't want to just throw things at you like that just for the sake of it without any meat behind it or any nuance. So yeah, I don't know what is coming on the next 8th of April. Oh, the dev blog for the Infinite Dreams. There's something about the word infinite that will surprise you there. And he's being cryptic and laughing about it. So emotes were better in Flash. I wouldn't say it like this. We just had some bad habits in production, in terms of production, which means, yeah, yeah, we don't want to bring those old bad habits into 3.0, so that it will have everything will have a bad impact here if we do it lazily. So technical constraints and other things that we had in 2.0, we didn't want to port it as it was, and we're looking for a better formula from the start to bring back things like, namely the finishing, what are they called? The animations. Yeah, so we had things that would last about 30 seconds and memory leak as hell and things like that. So yeah, we didn't want to just keep things that were bad for the game because of previous lazy habits in 2.0. Oh, so yeah, Flash allowed us a freedom to be that lazy and have things that weren't costly, but we can't afford that in 3.0 anymore. We have There's no expectation in the current calendar 2025 to change the Dolmanax quest. Fuji, oh, how do we remove the dialogue with the NPC that tells you? Because there will be the other NPC? No, it will stay. It will stay. You will still be able to ask the dungeon NPC whether Fuji is there or not. GM Wabbit and the spider, we've made a change, so they're no longer in the monster chief. Like the Dark Vlad, these are special monsters. They stay as they are, but they're out of the achievements. And these modifications, just like the respawn time adaptation and these little changes that we've mentioned, so that if there is like a new server rush type situation, there's less frustration with big numbers of players fighting for limited resources. Oh, I didn't get that question. I've completely missed that question. On the last update of the year, it is a big topic. It is really important for the game, but I can't guarantee. What? It would be very good to have a game design-wise a system. I don't know what the system is. Memory leak is a foundational, fundamental topic. It will be corrected, and as we said, there's a lot of interfaces that were reworked completely over the recent weeks for this update. That means a big part of these problems have been already solved. But it will also depend on your activity in game. For example, if we've noticed that if you were a big Infinite Dreams player or a big major, you saw a bigger memory leak. So yeah, so it depends on the interfaces that you use, your time of play, and which interfaces that you use, that you consume. So yeah, so some interfaces would close badly, they wouldn't fully close, and they would sort of remain in the background, and that would impact the memory leak, but a lot of these things have been corrected. The Minotaur maze has no changes in the pipeline so far, none. When custom, face, and bodies. Oh, we were talking about the body customs. We were talking about it early this morning. It should be yeah, it's arriving in the next 6 months, or it should be arriving in the next 6 months. What is the up or the nerf of the exact classes you mentioned? No, you'll get the changelog tomorrow. Especially on the beta, you'll be able to test it. Sometimes, very often when we talk about an up or a nerf for classes, it takes massive proportions in your minds, whereas you could just test it and see what the impact really is. AVA, wanna you go and to retouch it? It wasn't part of the plan. It's one of the infinite things that we want to tackle this year. I don't know. The current situation that we have on the massive nugget generation, it's not good or healthy for servers, and we know that. For example, if you ask us about the priority, So if you tell us about a system for you to find groups, like a group finder, like looking for group system and AVAs, we will sadly prioritize AVA because it has a much bigger impact on the game. Why are they whispering? I can't hear them. They're tired, I imagine, as well. So there was a forum topic that we were talking about yesterday. It's a system. What are they talking about? It's cool to rediscover, but it's an entirely new update generally. It's like the equivalent of Easter or like a new island. It's an entire team for just that one event. Game design wise, it's like a full update. That is why right now we've opted to focus on adding some real novelty, like new game modes, and that's why 3.3 that we call prologue, interrogation mark. Why did we call it now? Because it will be real novelty, real new game stuff added. The question about for this update, we try to work for this update so that the server adapts to the population. So the moment there is a big number of the games, if there's little or too much, that there would be the same facility of access to things that you want, with a bit of variation, of course. There are some elements that we haven't retouched yet, like profession resources. They're still fixed now, depending on population. Some interactive elements like free ghosts, for example, that we could adapt to the server, like the gatherable flowers that would, but it hasn't been modified yet. We don't know how to do it or when to do it yet, but we're looking into it. There's a question. Something about servers in 2 weeks. When will we have a system where your when will your professions be linked to your account? Oh, it's the old link. Oh, I'm tired. I've had it. I don't know that anybody cares. They're talking about breathing now. So professions to be at least linked to the server. That is at least what we're aiming for. We feel like this will be a big change, but it's also a big sort of work. We want the logic to be sane, and that comes with studying all the possible implications. Titles, ornaments, and things like that, will they be linked to the entire server? Nope. Shadow mentioned. Jay's going to celebrate. Holy shit. Sadly with the Shadow server, for all the legit players that have gone through Shadow, you will have to pay the cost for the anti-botting measures, sadly. What is he saying? Why is he singling them out? Oh my god, that poor old server. When minigames in Gathering Professions? Gathering Professions, yeah, we're talking a lot about them now. Because we're talking about anti-botting, of course, so professions are directly linked to this. Profession rework, we don't expect to see any major rework in the next few years, sadly. But it's very likely to be a 2027 kind of topic. And they're all staring in French. There's all the Uz, the French content creator. He's got all of his minions in the chat gunning for what he wants to change next in the major interface. A settings ensemble, huh? The format change is likely to be a step in this direction so that you can have multiple settings and save them like an ensemble. So we will put this first big change of reworking the options, how they are generated, how they're saved, and how they're moved, so that later on we could facilitate sharing, so you can have multiple presets. Yeah, so it's really, this change that we've brought about now is the first step in making all of these things that you're asking for possible. Are you expecting to bring back the pictos of the NPCs in the dialogue thing? No, we don't expect to do that now. We've mentioned this before. With Unity, what was used? Oh wow, we've said this before, but in the dialogue when you see the picto, it is an actual animation that is running. So it adds a lot of weight to the dialogue when you open it. So no, we don't expect to change that, no. Personally, something that I would like to retrieve. I feel like it lacks soul when you're dialoguing with something and not seeing it, but it would be like a big kind of work to bring this for dialogues, but no. There's no research and development on this in particular now. Yeah. Limited by Unity. No! Ban this man quickly. Get him out of my chat. Oh shit. My sort of mental framework right now as it stands. Oh, the mobile question. Yeah, so we want to continue to work on the PC version before we think about the porting into a sort of mobile thing. Like, we've got a lot of problems to solve, so why are you guys getting ahead of yourselves? Yo, Hazel! Yo, good to see you, man. I've missed the joke about the Divine Thingy event. Oh, there's... Oh, the 22,000 and the 7,000 quests, 22,000 points, the new ornament for the new number of quests and achieves. They haven't got anything? They haven't got anything? We were talking about making cities more interesting. We feel like we're still under this task. There's a lot of modifications to be done still. Like the Amakina village, yeah, it's lacking life. As we've said, as it stands, it's really not the priority given what you know, what you guys know. I've been reading the Discord daily, and yeah, this shouldn't be asked as a question. God damn, with all the problems, who the fuck wants Ankama to be alive? Or Amakina, whatever. It's, yeah, they're fighting about whether it's a small or a big task to make Amakina village alive. At least 2028. At least 2028. What he was saying in the last live is, I have a trait or a desire to want to bring new content rather than just make old stuff pretty or better. Because as you know, as it stands, we want to imagine, work on new stuff rather than just rework the old existing. But in any case, 2026 will be the year where we'll put this to work. Hashtag bring new content, god damn it. One question, a bit off topic. And let's see if you have something to say. What? A Dofus... Oh wow, that's a general question. Would a open world Dofus Swagful style be better than map by map? Whoa, it would take us 2 years, putting all of our assets and teams to work to get that to work, to make it happen. We have loads of things in an open world setting that would just not work. And the second point on this, you have to redo the entire goddamn game if you wanted to. There'd be some hilarious thing to show you. Astro, for example. If you wanted to paste all of Astrub and make sure that there's no card by card, this is an open world, it would be the complete mess. The links between maps are completely fake. We've added some frames around them and stuff. The ratios are off. on a lot of maps, the borders and edges and the connection between maps that make it seem like it's transitioning perfectly are completely fake. Ooh. Yeah, so yeah, oof. What do we do about the quests that validate when you go into a map or an area? Oh god, it would be crazy. Yeah, everybody would have to work on this. Graphics testers, game designers, and the animators as well. And what would be sad is that we would be going towards Wakfu again, and we're trying to have two completely separate games with different identities rather than just merge them into one behemoth of a game. Yeah, but that's the answer. How can we become employees of Ankama? Who the fuck wants that? What is wrong with people? We have a website with a careers page and just see what's open and apply. Send your application. You can't just send free applications. We don't do that. Yeah, globally this is what it is. You know the economy is bad. You know times are hard. So the encyclopedia, we have a ticket open to try and better it. Now it would be great to have it open directly mid-fight. Yeah, so we wanted it to grow to include the new mechanics that we've added, like transposition, heavy states and things like that. But as ever, this is a priority question again I'm going to refer you to. Yeah, it's just not... We would love to when we have the time and when we get the chance, but it's just... Whoa! Somebody's asking about your policy about updates on Tuesday, rollbacks, and what you do, like the actual legal text on what you should do with these. So over the next few weeks, we want, with the production team, to go towards 1 every 2 weeks maintenance. Alan is losing his hair now. So it's not something that we've already confirmed. We said something different at the start of the year, but generally we don't know exactly when. But we want to pass some changes. The rollback policy, what is it? Right now it's case by case. I'm not gonna lie to you. Rollbacks are usually done. It's a decision that we take the moment we realize whatever happened on a server, fail, dupe, where no manual going back is possible. It's sadly, when we know it will take us weeks and weeks to undo the damage, rollback is then decided. Yeah, it's done on the basis of saves on the database. The last rollbacks we've done were 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so there are minuscule rollbacks with minimal impact, whereas before we had to do rollbacks that would be 4 hours, sometimes half a day or entire days, which were unfortunate. So here we've got lots of enhancements with the Unity change, which lets us do mini rollbacks like that because we have more frequent saves. The question of when will mounts be able to be used underwater? We don't know. We were talking about breathing earlier. There's a big revamp coming, keep an eye on it. Terrible question I saw. Question about the artificial intelligence. Ay. I've read it less than... Oh my... I don't feel good about this question at all. Oh. It was about... oh, he found an interesting question about pushback damage. Will you rework the formula and the impact? Oh. It's part of the things that are global in the balancing that we've announced earlier. Like the Forgonaut and Forge Laws. Whoa, lots of classes will be massively impacted with these global changes, these global rebalancing. Holy shit! When will you add conventional items in the bestiary? I don't know what that is. Oh, the convention items. Okay. Since Temporis 6, we have a new drop system in game. And these drops are not showing in the bestiary. It's really hard to put them in the bestiary. to be straight with you. For this one, we need to take the time to do it. Every time we think, yeah, we've got to work it. We've got to make it happen. Eileen, right here. Once you rework the soul stones, they won't be in the bestiary. The new fragment, sadly. But we really need to find the time to do it. This year, I hope. This year? Something about processor. I can't say yes or no to the question about the processing thing. Depends on each machine, but it's one of the things that we're working on, the optimization of interfaces and the speed of opening them because they're too cumbersome. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done for this. One last question each. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. They're nerfing Jay. They're banning him again for playing on Shadow. That's the main change, Teku. Come on, get a question. You can, the AP rune now gives you the same as a croquette, so they've nerfed the runes, so you don't recycle. Some alignment quests that were bugged. I can only invite you to go and read the forum. We have a whole packet of quests that were changed with this update. If they're not within, please make sure to tell us about them so that we can include them. There's a lot that were ticketed. But there's an entirely massive package that has already been sorted and that you will see in the next devlog. French stairs. Oh la la. Oh. What? When will the devblog be up? Tomorrow. Beta plus the changelog tomorrow, 11 AM. Hopefully, if everything goes well. That was his question. That was Papino's question. But he answered it. So they're fighting over whether that was my question or not. The chat is going very fast, so they're trying to locate a good question to pick and answer. Oh, they found a big one. Meaty. Hello, Ankama. Will you be able, please, add... Huh? Hero mode! When can you add the hero mode in your planning, please? I didn't see it in your planning for 25. We're talking about it just before the live. We're talking about so many things. Every question that gets asked, they're like, oh, we were just talking about this before the live, just earlier today. And it's like, why are you guys talking about everything and doing fuck all? What is this? What's going on? So the hero mode, we were talking about it exactly before the live. We were sat there talking about it before we went live. We still have the will to do it. As I was saying, there were some comments that were saying, if you're playing 8 accounts, you're using 30 gigabytes of RAM. That is nuts. It's complicated. For this kind of setup, it's really complicated, but we're not gonna hide or shy away. It's part of the list of enhancements. Unity 6, as the Pope said, gives us some new tools that we try to leverage, but we can't do black magic and just bring it down to 200 megabytes of RAM. That train has sailed, sadly. We can't make it happen, it's gone. There's a minimum limit that we will never be able to go under. Sadly, one of the enhancements that were done. And it implicates a lot of things. Like the principal problem is quests and achievements. We're not gonna shy away from this. Fight side, it's a lot easier, let's say. It's much easier to put in place. But when it comes to quests and achievements, that progression of thing, map by map, like we said, it's really big. It's things that touch the foundational identity of Dofus, that we can't just go and mess about with them or change them or completely remove them. We have to sit down and think about how do we solve for this with minimal impact while keeping achievements, while keeping the quest and nature intact. We have a lot to take into account while doing this. it becomes a lot more urgent, as Rebek said, to make advances in this. And follow the planning, otherwise we'll never have advancements that we've said for the next year. It feels like Macron's answering this question. He said absolutely nothing about it while saying too many words. This was a good example of la langue de bois in French, double speak. It's giving the impression that he said something deep and meaningful while saying absolutely nothing. So, if everything goes well, tomorrow 11 AM you'll have access to the beta. And around 11 AM, let's say, you'll have access to the dev blog, change log, sorry, and the beta. Don't lynch us if it's a bit late or a bit too early. But yeah, we are looking forward to your feedback. As we've said, we hope it all goes well. So many thanks for Rebek and Kneeling for this. We're looking forward to your feedback, tweets, and interactions. And see you later. Oh, bye. Peace, peace, peace. Why is the Pop the Avenue office? I don't know. I don't know. That was April's joke. I'll tell you what. I was not gonna do this. I was not going to do it because I've literally arrived yesterday from Morocco to the UK and I'm completely shattered. But someone on Discord said that that was a joke, and I thought it would be a joke if I meant it as a joke and was not intending to do it, and I ended up doing it. So I got into my head and I was like, fuck it, I'll just fire up the live. So I woke up from a nap directly and fired up this live. It was weird having to update OBS, NVIDIA, having to open my computer in 3 months. But one thing I have been doing very meticulously is reading the Discord every single day. It has been fun. Not being part of it, being impacted by it, but just watching what is happening and having a good laugh at it. Thank you very much, Eid Mabrok to you too, Vine. And everybody that has tuned up. I didn't have any particular plans for what to do after, but I think I'm gonna go clean the car and take the little one, bring her from nursery. Have you taken part in the April Quiz Me event? No, I haven't, no. I don't remember I said. No worries, Tatlin, you will have to do the next one, just saying. Hashtag just saying. No worries, that. It was amazing to see some names again after such a long break. 3 entire months of not sitting in front of my computer at all. I think at some point I might do a stream sometime in the future and just chat about life, not even about the game. I fired it up a grand total of twice, I think, in 3 months, just to see what it looks like and make sure that none of my characters got deleted or something. Yo! Tatlin coming in hot with the mid-live notes. This is crazy. I don't know how she can do this and Ankama can't do it in English. Yeah. Peace, Nidge. Take care, man. Low not bad. Yeah, that's crazy. You must have been frantically while they're talking. God damn. Shadow mentioned. Won't be buffed by portals anymore. Yep. The actual real nerf that we need is on this guy right here. He's too dangerous. He's the only human being. Can I say human being? Have we confirmed it? Has anybody ever seen him in real life? That has been banned and unbanned. And Ankama apologized for that. What? That's the real nerf we need. No new content or anything. Holy shit, 146 liners. God damn. Power leveling, but it's not considered to be okay. What were the biggest changes, really? World bosses. Oh, what? I want to see. I almost want to log tomorrow. I almost want to log tomorrow just to see what the new turn looks like. It will be interesting to have 10 extra seconds. So is it like 40 seconds now? The game is gonna be slower and slower. Open the plug. Realize it's April Fool. Leave. Yeah, I'm not thinking much, Jay, while talking. I'm really trying not to use my brain, so I'm not computing most things. It's just word in, word out. Keep attention to sentence structure so that it's as close as possible to what has been said. Zeller buffed by 10 seconds. Let's go. I mean, no, boo. Good to see you, Istas. I didn't see it. What? There was an April's Fool. What? Where is it? This is not an April's Fool. This is the actual dev blog. Huh? What? They've released it at the same time as the live. What? Wait. Did I miss something? Where is the actual April's Fool? Oh, it's the same exact one that we've seen. No, we haven't seen this. No, come on. This is not... I've never seen this before. I haven't seen this thing, for example. This is my first time seeing it. Or is this just a dev blog that I've missed? Boom, boom, boom. What's next? We will of course continue to give you more personality to Part 2. Ah, there it is. Yeah. March 31st. Like you can understand, the year is filled with important stakes. Rework new had a new theme. Yeah, that's such a minuscule change, but it's cool. It's cool. Too good to be true. Brackmar red, Bonta blue, unicorn pink. They've mentioned this, the addition of the new Wabbit thing. I mean, this isn't really a big change. What happened to the bugs? The VIT widget. So is this definitive now? This is how it looks like when your turn is playing. Do we have it now in the game? Can't take my eyes off of you. This is a pre-recorded video, Zah. They link to the old one, alright. No, Istos, I've said not to subscribe and I don't want to change anything technical to the game, to the stream. This is not a recurrence. This is not happening. I'm just passing by. Yo! You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. But no, it's still the same thing. Oh, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Okay. Oh, it's a lot more fluid than I remember it being. Wow. I need you, baby. Yo. What is this game? I think I'm gonna start playing it. It looks cool. For about 30 minutes and then it's back to hell. Oh. What's a full GPU? What the hell? You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You feel... Yeah, I saw the thing about The event, the exciting event where monsters randomly appear. Randomly appear. Are you guys having fun with events like that? The dev blog. True. Can't take my eyes. I can show you where to find it. It's in Dofus info, and you'll find them appearing there. Do you want some Kamas, Artagoon? Come and trade me. I love you, baby. Only night I need you. Alright, beautiful peeps. I think I'm gonna go have a little snack. Pick up the little one from nursery. Play with her. And I'm not saying this because it's the 1st of April, but I'll try and see you on the next one. Now we will have a new bot service. Yeah, that will be crazy. Imagine if I opened this and it was minus 100 mil. You'd be like, hey, we know what you did. Yep. Yep. Alright. Peace out. I'm still alive, I'm still alive. If anybody fancies getting in touch, I'm still very much active on Discord, and I try and see everything that gets said and, and done. So, peace out. I need to head out to the hospital now. Alright. Peace.